You're watching Bet Republic TV with me, James Eastham, and Steve Claridge. And the next game we're looking at is Chelsea versus West Ham at Stamford Bridge. As you'd expect, Chelsea are a short price to win the game. They're available at 9-2 on with William Hill. I suppose, Steve, the one thing that will give West Ham fans hope here is the fact that Chelsea are just not defending as well as they can do. Kept a clean sheet in the Cup last week against Stoke, but against better sides recently, they've conceded goals, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I'm not sure how much emphasis West Ham will put on going forward in this game. I think they're going to make sure this is a really, really tight game. I think they'll tough it out here, and I think they'll give Chelsea a proper game. This will be a physical test as well. I think we've seen this over the years. These two can get stuck into each other in previous occasions. So this should be a good game like that. I don't see this as being a cakewalk for Chelsea, and I don't think Chelsea yet are still at their best, particularly with the injuries that they've got. And I'm not quite sure he's settled on a proper formation yet. So they're not totally convincing. If he gets it right and he picks the right team, as I said, I think that they'll be okay, but not there yet.
No, not there yet. And the biggest price they've been for an awful long time in the title race at the moment are Chelsea. They're available at 13-8 right now. We followed that up and down. They've been odds on for a long spell as well, and I mean that's a big price given where they've been earlier in the season.
Yeah, it's where they are now, isn't it? That's the trouble. And you've got Arsenal, right in the equation. So that is, instead of it being a 2-horse race, it's now a proper 3-horse race.
Yes,
isn't
it is. Yeah. West Ham, Steve, had a bit of a shock last week, didn't they?
Yeah.
They lost at home
Didn't
to
start,
Bolton.
James. Watched the whole game. Never started. Out the game before they actually, woken up. It was a poor performance, and one that you don't really associate with West Ham, because what they have done is, they've always applied themselves. They just haven't been able to score. They've always, they've got after teams. They've made it difficult for teams. They're back now to being tough to beat before that game. Yeah. But never turned up. Never started the game, and by the time they'd actually, got their heads around what they were there for, they were out the game. They were 2-0 down, and chasing it, and that's. That was it was a strange one, because you could see after the interview after the game with Gianfranco Zola, it was sort of like mystified as to why they'd started so slowly, in such a big game. Yeah,
I suppose in one way that means they're less likely to this week, isn't it?
Well, I think
you wouldn't make the same mistake again.
They're not going to be complacent in this one, are they? I don't see them going here and thinking that we can get away with this at half measures. They'll have to apply themselves properly here. They're not far away from being a reasonable side again, West Ham. I know they're lowly positioned, but starting to get people back who can score goals. The midfield four that served them so well last year. Defensively, I'm still a little bit worried. Tompkins was at fault last. And the Portuguese boy, I'm not totally convinced at centre half. So that's a position they might need to strengthen. But no, they'll be all right. As I say, I don't see them getting relegated.
Yeah, they should be okay. They are still available if you want them in the relegation market at 8-1, but we think they'll be okay. Well, we've had a look around for some worthwhile bets on this game. It's always very difficult when Chelsea are at home because they're such a short price, and that has a knock-on effect on so many markets. So our first bet is a speculative punt for you on Chelsea to win the game and the game to have 3 or 4 goals. Speculative is the word. We're not sure about this one, but the price is good. The price is 8-5, so you might fancy a small wager on that. And our second bet is on Frank Lampard to score any time. Well, he scored at home to Stoke in the Cup last week, and he also scored in their 4-2 home defeat against Manchester City. Back in form, we're backing Lampard to score any time at a price of 7-4.